Titled Paranormal World Investigators Research Division, shortened PWIRD. I'm a practicing white witch and shaman, and I have been investigating for over 20 years. This channel is made to talk about all things paranormal, supernatural, of the occult, demonic information, UFOs, and much more, the strange and the unknown. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell to see more of this channel. And we will see you very soon. Thank you. Oh, excuse me, guys. Hello. We are here. Just bringing down this one so you can see me and Drew. Hello, guys, and welcome to our Friday show. So tonight we have got an amazing interview with two of the best guys in UFO and alien work. So we have got our lovely Chris and Dokota from Bold and Bonkers. If you have not got them, please go over and get them, guys. So tonight we're going to be doing an interview. So we're going to be asking some questions. Then we're going to be going into some more exciting stuff, which is doing some apps and seeing if we can actually communicate directly with our lovely beings of the other planets, our extraterrestrial friends. So we're not going to leave them in suspense. I will say that Dokota, poor guy, is having a bit of technical problems, so he's going on and off, but hopefully when he comes back he will stay on. But let's bring up Chris so that he can say hello to everybody. So here's our lovely Chris from Bold and Bonkers.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
How are you all? This is I've not been a guest on a show for a long time. This is exciting.
Yeah, it's been a long time since you've been on here.
Oh.
A long time. Who have we got in the room? So we have got lovely Joel, Thinking of Others, Tommy, which is our UFO guy. Hello. Another two of them that are the best in ufology. They're absolutely amazing. Thinking of Others, our Angel. Hello. We've got obviously Bold and Bonkers, which is Chris and Dokota. So please share out, guys. Let people know that we are on so that they can come over.
Hopefully my other half will get his internet fixed and he'll be here shortly.
He will be here hopefully soon. Here is Dokota. Let's bring him up. Here is the second
Your other half?
The amazing Dokota. Woo! He's back.
That way.
I think Chris let out a little secret there.
Well, you know, we've been planning to break it to everyone, you know.
Exactly. Like literally for the last 20 minutes since Dakota's been here, he's been having nothing but problems. In out, coming off. It's just nuts. Yeah. Hello, my lovely family, Smith Family Paranormal. How are you? There's some of my workers.
How's your internet, Dokota?
Tommy's the UFO man, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah, Tommy and Tim. Tim's the main guy, and he's the host with Tommy.
Yeah, I've been stalking them at the moment.
These will be the guys that you guys will be meeting up on one of my shows, but I want to get an interview with Dokota and with Chris with these guys on our own, so we can all sit and talk before the big show. And I've got a few other guys that have had a few UFO interactions and stuff, and they're interested in coming up.
That'll be good to watch the 4Es together and do an interview.
I'll be interested.
Together, yeah.
So I've not really wrote down any questions for this. I'm just going to kind of just come from the top of my head because this is a completely new thing, and I'm going to try and do a new thing. So what we do, we can all ask questions to Dokota and Chris, as well as you, sis. If you want to ask anything, guys in the room, anything you want to know about UFOs and aliens, you've got the chance to do that with Chris and Dokota now. Any information or anything they're wanting to talk about to do with their channel, they're welcome to do this. This is their show today, so they can do what they want. Well, we've changed the show to Loch Ness Monster Man and Son. Really? Oh my God.
The Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster.
Loch Ness Monster.
He's actually seen it. He's seen the Loch Ness Monster.
Thank you. I hope you're happy too, my friend.
Did you all know that, was it Discovery Channel, Dakota, that you were on to do with the Loch Ness Monster?
National
Yeah.
Geographic, but yes, I
National
was.
Geographic, he was on to do with the Loch Ness Monster.
I
Have
find
you
the
visited
Loch Ness
Scotland?
Monster really, really intriguing. I find that really, really
Yeah.
intriguing.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to go there and do a wee investigation of the area.
So,
Maybe
Yeah, I
things
would.
open up.
You're gonna need to go swim.
Oh no,
Sherry,
we're just going to send you out in a boat.
Sherry can come up to Scotland and we'll spend the weekend up at
Oh,
Loch
yeah.
Ness.
Yeah.
I would have a
Beautiful.
blast.
It'd be brilliant.
So, guys, feel free
Yes.
to ask anything that you want to do. This is what we want. You want to get to know Chris and Dakota. You need to get to know their channel as well. They are absolutely awesome. Dakota and Chris directly communicate with astral beings. So, you know, the aliens, they don't really like to be called that. They like to be
Could
called
I-
extraterrestrials.
Could
They
I
communicate
actually
with them as
ask
well as me.
Chris to explain what it is it actually is communicating with?
Oh.
Extraterrestrials, but
It's just
this is
because
what these
I've-
guys need to talk about. That's why we've got
I
them here.
am
So,
a simple Scottish girl, okay? And it's
Right.
paranormal and things, so I'm only
I was a
just
simple
learning
Scottish
about
guy until I met
Yes.
Dakota.
all these
Yeah.
UFO stuff.
So-
I've got loads of questions, but
maybe
it's
we should
questions.
start with letting them introduce themselves and their
Yeah.
channel and what their specialities are in the ufology and everything, and then we will go into questions. So, Chris and Dakota, if you would like to talk to your audience and
I'm
tell
a
them
gentleman.
what you
I
are into
always-
and what you do.
I'll let Dakota go first because I'm a gentleman. I always let the ladies go first. When you go.
Age before beauty.
I know.
All right. So,
Yeah, what?
where do I begin? Well, a lot of people who don't know, I usually go by the name Specialist of the Strange. Bald and Bonkers was essentially just a joke. Hello. Bald and Bonkers
I love
was
your face one.
Bald and Bonkers initially just started out as a random joke that caught on, so we kind of just stuck to the name as we started working together a bit more. I've dealt with spirits, cryptids, UFOs, you name it. I've dealt with it. Probably had something try to kill me a few times.
As you do.
As nearly anybody that's worked with me long enough can tell you, you stick with me long enough, you're almost guaranteed to see something. In fact,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the orb that pretty much killed all my communications as we were trying to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see something go past you.
That was a little weird. I did just have relatives get back from the Stanley Hotel, so we might have something. I don't know.
Yes, there could be more than just extraterrestrials, guys. Just saying. So, right, there is actually quickly, guys, while you're here. So let me just bring us all back onto the page so that we're all back to normal. There is a question from our lovely Thinking of Other for you already.
Yeah.
Have you come back on together all together or not?
Oh,
Yes, we
yeah,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Thinking is asking it. Hang on a minute. Let me try to find the question so I can bring it up so you can read it.
Is it thinking of others? Question: has any of the military
Eh.
personnel come?
Here is the question from Thinking.
Has any military personnel come to speak to you alone? Well, no, me personally, but I don't know if Dakota's ever actually met anyone about this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And they've seen some of the videos I've posted up on my own personal channel, and they're like, you better slow down, you're catching something that you're not supposed to be seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's chances are we've had strange black Subarus try to cut off communication a couple of times for certain topics on our show.
That's right. I mean, even Dakota's had a visit from the Men in Black himself. What night was it? It was that night. Was it the night you were on, Sherry? That happened.
Yeah, I was talking. I've come on to Dakota just before the interview, and he'd
Yeah.
said just before I'd come on that he'd had some car sitting out the back outside his, and he goes, there was like two male and a female.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
when they noticed that he was there, they drove off, and then he said it again on the show when he actually went live. So that's just nuts.
I think Dakota went out to them and they basically wheel spun away, which was
Yeah,
strange.
because they don't want to be seen, do they? They don't want you to know that they're watching you. But luckily,
they're
Dakota
watching
clicks
us.
on. You know what I mean?
They're also not afraid to start shooting people. So,
No. I mean, look at the last live we did. What was it? The JFK one, and Dakota dug up some amazing files on. There was actually President Kennedy had written a speech, and he was meant to deliver this speech, but he was shot, and this speech has been it's been locked away for what 40, 50, 60 years now, and on that speech it says, "Dear, I'm only going to read a wee bit. My dear fellow Americans, I would like to tell you that we are no longer alone in the universe." And Dakota can share the links to it. You can find it. It's a real thing. And then maybe that's why someone shot him.
Finds it intriguing. Yes.
Am I the only one that finds it intriguing? The number of sightings have doubled the closer we get to the new year. I do agree with that, and there has been a lot more sightings with UFOs and stuff going on at the minute. As Chris and Dakota will probably agree with you.
It's quadrupled. The sightings are over the scale. I mean, that image Dakota found, but that was that no 2 years ago? That was found, that ginormous thing in space.
That was just last year.
Right. I mean, this thing was bigger than Earth, and it looks like a star with a circle round about it. I mean, there's more things out there. People
Let's
don't
face it,
realise.
everybody and their granny's got an iPhone or a camera phone of some kind, so that's why there's more sightings and things. The government can't get these people offline quick enough. There's too many people now.
I will see.
Tommy asked you a question. What brought you gents to this subject? So Tommy from UFO Man is wanting to know what brought you guys into ufology.
Oh, I was always. I'll go first if you want this time.
Yeah.
I'll go. Right. I was always into the ghosts and the paranormal, as Drew does know. I was always into that, and I met Dakota. And we started research.
Kidnapped by ghost hunting companion.
I've always been interested in UFOs and the magical aliens exist. They do exist. I believe that 100% now. But when I first met Dakota, we got into researching like UFO files, stuff like that, and it's just amazing some of the stuff that's happened, and people try and cover it up. Look, guys, if you are watching this, aliens do exist. We're definitely getting. They're definitely coming, right, to this world. I can guarantee you that. Dakota, how did you get into this madness?
Yes, Mr. Dakota,
UFOs?
how did you become involved?
Well, the question of ETs, whether or not they're out there, it's never been, are they out there? It's, where are they? And that's always been an approach I've had. I've always been more scientific minded. But there was one particular incident that came up when I was about 5 years old where I ended up 40 miles away from home one night. And basically what happened was I went to bed. I was at my mother's house. The next morning, I woke up at my grandparents' house about 30 miles away. They had no clue I was there. The house was locked. The dogs didn't even know I was around. And next thing you know, my mother's calling them, freaking out, thinking that I got kidnapped.
Yeah.
So how does a 5-year-old end up 30 miles away from home? Exactly.
So do you remember anything from it, Dakota? Do you remember seeing anything like lights or any beings or anything? Do you remember anything?
Tommy, I agree with that. My dad is the biggest skeptic out there of ghosts and UFOs and things, and he's just, you're thinking you've got no clue. He will not be open to it whatsoever.
Yes, Jill.
I remember seeing beings. It's something I've had to do some more work with because, like I said, I was 5, so it was a while ago. I do remember seeing beings. Hey, you thought I was 40 when we met.
That's very true. That's God.
It's like everyone goes to ask, well, were you a drinker? I was 5 years old. Well, what about sleepwalking? How the heck does a 5-year-old get 30 miles away from home?
I know.
No, it just don't make sense, does it?
I
No.
believe I believe we've all been picked for a reason. Right?
Yeah.
I've been picked. Dakota's been picked. You've been picked, Sherry. Drew, you've been picked. Everybody that I've came into contact in the UFO field lately, we've all got something in common.
Yeah, but
Maybe
our
we-
Drew here's still on the back ledge. She's not sure. Like, she finds it interesting and stuff like this, but she's a bit like,
I'm just
but
a bit.
just look at it as like a spirit and just go with the flow.
I know.
But you got
As
to
I say,
remember,
you know.
you got to remember, some alien entities are light spirits. They live in different
Yes.
dimensions.
See, I know all the spirits around me. I know their voices and things on the necrophonic and
Yeah.
things. So when we do the experiment, it's going to be very interesting to hear if I hear
Yes.
people's voices.
I think that maybe one of us should play the tone as well, just to see if we can get them to lift up a little bit. I'm going to try my best to make it so that they don't channel through me
Yeah.
because of my
Yeah.
head today,
Yeah.
but I will be able to get visions and stuff from them though, which I'll still do that, but we want to see if anything comes through. But yes, Dakota was took at 5 years old. Okay, he could not explain how he turned up in his grandparents' house, and obviously as he said, his mum rang very scared and worried about where he'd gone. And since then, from what I've known from Dakota, he's had very frequent communication with extraterrestrials, and he's quite an acknowledgeable man in this work. Okay, same as Chris. Chris is very good at it as well. So I'm just going to hint to you, Tommy, if you're wanting interviews with them, give them a buzz because you like that stuff. I'm going to get you guys all up for the Christmas show as well, but I would like to do a show with you and Tim and these two gentlemen and my sis up here, and we'll get into a private interview and record it and stuff before the show, the big show. But what I wanted to say now, I know obviously, but I want you to clarify to your guys in this room. So Dakota and Chris, obviously I'm aware, Chris, you've not yet had that therapy to try and go back to see if anything's happened to you and stuff, but I know Dakota has. So when we go over to Dakota, I get if he's okay with talking about that is like just explaining how you had a therapy to help you to remember things and stuff like that. And Chris, would you ever consider having that done?
Don't need to. I
don't need
believe
to.
100. I believe 100% in anybody
Yeah,
speak
but
through
wouldn't
me.
you like to try and find out if it goes further back?
I know it goes further back. I know because I've learned through who they are and what they've told me, where it came
Right.
from,
So
who
Chris,
it was, and why
well,
I'm here.
Chris will kind of has his therapy already then, but it's through the ETs.
Yes.
Okay, so he does get. He's like me, okay, because I get shown and given a lot of information and things like that from them. So I do remember a lot of what happens to me, apart from certain bits. Then he will talk to me directly and help me with that. Dakota has obviously had a lot of experiences and things that are very bizarre that's happened to him. So he's had to have some sort of help to get to the bottom of what's going on with him. And there's some very interesting stuff about him, because this is the guy that I was telling you about, Tommy, that has an extraterrestrial family. Okay, so I knew you was quite interested in that as well. So Dakota, do you want to give these guys a little bit of information about your amazing life with the extraterrestrials?
Well, like Tommy said, it is a form of regression therapy. Basically, someone walks you through. If anybody's familiar with the show Criminal Minds, where they try to talk a witness back to try to recall certain events, it's very similar. Unfortunately, when it comes to stuff like that, they have to be very careful, because saying the wrong words can accidentally create false memories. But it's a situation where I've eventually asked about that incident when I was 5, and the only message that would come through on the necrophonic was, death, death, death. Apparently, that night, something came to try to kill me before I could fully grow into awareness of what was going on. Something it managed to intervene, then drop me off at my grandparents' house where they knew I would be safe. There was also incidents where I was about 12 years old. I attempted to take my own life. This is a story that I know everybody here has heard, where
So they
something
were
essentially...
taking you out a situation then, Dakota. They were taking you out something at home that was bad or something, and they took you out that situation and put you somewhere safe. Is that what you mean?
No, something... One of the more negative beings out there was trying to make sure that I would not become a threat later in life.
Right. See, I thought you meant that they were taking you out of some sort of trouble you were in at home or something to somewhere safe. I thought that's what you meant. Sorry. Right. Okay.
That's
I get
actually
you.
was one of the theories. There's
Right.
this woman I talked to. Her name is Lori McDonald. She specializes in abduction regression therapy. She's done a lot of big programs. That streaming network Gaia. I know she's done quite a few shows on there. One of her theories that she suggested was that while rare, it may have been an extreme psychic manifestation where I may have actually teleported myself out.
Right. Okay. Right. See, that could make sense as well.
And can explain to us a little bit about your wife and children of the extraterrestrial realm.
By all accounts, I was not supposed to find out about them.
Yeah.
Basically, it creates an emotional distress where I honestly can't help but wonder if this is what soldiers who get deployed feel like, if it's a similar experience. But when I was about 12 years old, there was a series of negative events, which is why my mom freaked out when I was younger, because my father was an abusive type and he had threatened to try to take me, and that's where her mind first went. That, oh crap, he was successful. But if that was the case, he wouldn't have dropped me off at my mom's parents. Just to kind of, just to clear that up for anybody who tries to point skepticism. Something
exactly why.
What's that?
I said exactly. Why would he drop you off if they're not together and he's like that? Like he's not going to take you to her parents, is he? So.
Well, yeah, that's just something I had to point out because, you know, people will say, "Oh, maybe your parents dropped you off." It's like, well, my mother's calling, freaking out, thinking I got kidnapped. My father wasn't in the picture. If he was, he wouldn't drop me off where my mom could easily find me. But then it came to several points in life where I was on the verge of death. Something ended up intervening. An incident that I've talked about quite a few times before, where I was about 12 years old. Something I couldn't really make out a lot of detail because the image was so bright. One of the theories was that whatever it was that saved me that day, it was when it started phasing into this reality. There was a lot of energy. It produced a lot of light. It was very blinding, which makes sense on the scientific side of things. He walked up to me, said, "Dakota, there's someone here to see you." Then all of a sudden, there's this little girl standing behind him, just bawling her eyes out, saying, "Dakota, please don't do it." Over time, the only thing that made sense was that it was some sort of child's spirit meeting their parents for the first time. That's the only thing that made sense. It was the closest thing I could find. Turns out that may have been my wife from a previous lifetime. where I was not from this planet. And because apparently we did end up getting close, we ended up having at least 2 children together. And the one incident that came to sense that I know Sherry can validate with me was when a being known as the Hat Man attacked several members of a company we all used to be affiliated with. Then all of a sudden, a few of them started saying they see a little girl who looks exactly like me showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I can validate that there was, because I had an experience when we done the case of the Hat Man as well, where he was here. I'd had previous experiences with the Hat Man from a young age. So I kind of think that I have had some sort of communication with an alien form, because they think that the Hat Man may be some sort of alien form, just looking more human looking. And there was a lot of very negative stuff going on. This energy known as the Hat Man was not happy about us talking or looking into him. And there was from several different people saying that there was a little girl, Dakota, that looked like you. She was there. Like, it was just really random and very real, believe me. And it was a very intense experience, most definitely. That's not one that I'll ever forget.
See, I've knew you for the past year. I would say you've been talking about the little girl, and you've also progressed to add to that as well now, haven't you? You know that there's other things as well now. There's not just the little girl. There's other things. In fact, you should buy his book, guys. Honestly, buy the
That's right.
Yes, tell them a
Dakota's
little
book.
bit about your book on that, Dakota, so that people could maybe have a look up for you on your book.
He's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
You
It's
should really buy
brilliant
the book. But there's other things as well he's figured out, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Dakota is a very educational person to watch, and very, very clever in what he does, and he's very interesting. And when you look at him and you watch him, and that you can see he's genuine, and you can see that he's had experiences, and you can see that he's very connected. Okay, it doesn't take much to see that at all. Same as Chris. Okay, and it's been a long time, and things happened, and we all separated for a little bit, but we're all back together, and we want to just bring what's the best to do with these UFOs and these aliens.
See, that's why a lot of people
messages.
got together in the first place, was because a lot of people were seeking answers for different things in life. So that's why a lot of us came together. It just so happened that Dakota's was a lot of alien and things related, wasn't it? A lot of things.
See, we'd gone over there really to look at it through the paranormal side, because I joined, and then I told Chris and Drew about the place and sent the link, and they joined as well. And we met Dakota that way.
So we've met,
and then obviously I left for personal reasons, but Chris and Drew continued in the company with Dakota until recently.
See, I've seen Chris for 2019, and I've seen a big difference in Chris for the past year.
Oh yeah,
started researching alien stuff and things. So I think they've opened your mind a lot, haven't they?
Well, hey, yes, they've definitely opened my mind. They've definitely. I've seen stuff that's amazing.
How did it start for you, Chris? Can you remember the first alien encounter you had that you thought, right?
Before I even met you.
Right.
I had like abductions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
Strange marks. But once I met Dakota, it was like he was like a key or something like that. He activated something. And then when they come to me and they tell me stuff, they tell us what, I know everything about you guys. See, this is the thing, they tell me stuff about you all, and this is the thing, this is, but we're always meant to do this.
Okay.
But there's other people out there still to join. That has
I mean,
to
you have had experience.
I think that we're supposed to work together.
Yes, work together, but we've also to help each other find a couple of other people.
That's what I'm saying. Work together to bring others in. That's what I think. That's what we're supposed to do. We're meant to bring other people in through our educational stuff and through what we do. And there are a lot of people that are very interested in ufology. there's another boss. Did you write, Jules? Sorry, that would make sense considering Hat Man has been known to be
Stop
able
reality.
to distort reality.
Yeah.
With
I
the
agree.
Hat Man guy, I would say, out of what they've told me, he's like the opposite to one of them. He's not
Right.
the nice version.
But he's definitely as the alien kind or the ET
I think
kind.
he is.
Right.
I think
okay.
he's. I don't think he's in a he.
Even when you
He's
look
just some
him
type
up,
of entity.
even when you look the Hat Man up, it does say in some of the descriptions that they believe that he may be of an extraterrestrial realm, not
So what would
spirit.
what would be his purpose?
Oh,
To watch us for the bad guys?
Dakota,
I
do you
think
want to
that
take
he's
this
there
one?
to watch us for the bad guys, but I think he's also there to try to break us down so that they can
Right.
engage.
He's.
Get into our mind or something.
I wouldn't say getting it in mind, but he doesn't want this planet succeeding
Right.
No.
like
Okay.
it should.
Right. Okay. So always
Aye.
to do with our planet
Aye.
being destroyed.
Aye.
Okay.
Right.
Or do they want to take over our planet? Do you think they want to destroy humans and take over our planet? Or do
No,
you
the
think
one
they just
is
want to blow our planet up, basically?
the good ones don't. The good ones
Right.
want
Not
this
that
planet to
Thomas
live
is
for
right,
a long
hang on a
time,
minute.
but
Okay.
the evil ones want us to be slaves,
Right.
like we are the now, because we are slaves.
It'd get worse.
Hang on a minute, I'm just reading what you.
Tony.
It only makes sense that ETs exist. Trillions of planets and humanity is the only game in town. That's depressing. It is, because
Right.
anyone that does believe that we are the only being here really does
No.
need to have some help, because
Yeah, definitely.
how can some like our planets and our universe be that big and then not be something else? Like, and there's so much evidence out there that shows
It's
that
like
they're
saying
here
there's only
and have
one
been here a
fish in
long
the
time.
sea.
No.
Yeah, like saying
What
there's only
I've
one fish. You know?
what I'll let the quote after this is when I go through my thing when they come to me, they've told me that there's 23 humans species in our galaxy, right?
Right.
Different ones, but that's ones that just look like us, right? There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of different ones throughout this
Another
galaxy.
question
Dakota,
from Thinking.
have you come across an alien secret society? Well, actually, it's strange you
Quite a
should say
few.
that. We know of one, and it was created.
Right.
Everybody knows who it is. It's something that it started off long ago. The Knights Templar started it. The Masonic Masons and the Illuminati. I'll just come out and say the word. The Illuminati.
Right.
They work for the bad ones.
Right. Okay.
That's who they are.
So that is
because-
why you see that eye quite a lot then and a lot of the
Yeah, it's like that. See that picture you drew, Sherry? The one with the pyramid,
Yeah.
the eye in it, and then the horseshoe
Right.
Hang
type
on a
thing.
minute, I think I've got it here. So I did get it out in
Ryan
case
Forrest,
like,
I
you
think
said
it
something.
is. Uh-huh.
I actually
Welcome, Snooper.
found a image exactly the same as that
Yeah,
one
it's
there,
there. Mhm.
and it's a ring for the Illuminati, members of the Illuminati.
And that does look like a Masonic.
That is, it's the Masonic. It's the all-seeing eye, the pyramid.
These guys, for anyone that don't know, these are some symbols that I was getting from an extraterrestrial, because I am communicating. I've been getting a lot of other stuff since then. Obviously though, like Tommy and that knows my experiences with the UFOs and knows about my abductions and stuff that I've gone through. But that opened me first. Then it really started to open to the point that I was communicating when I actually met Dokota and Chris and started going back in there and going into their streams. It just it's all I can
Yeah.
explain. That's all I can do. Is it just kind of just blew up and
Well, things
Mad.
got
If it was
interesting.
supposed to be that way.
Things got interesting when Dakota showed me the tones, right? And experienced a lot more stuff. Then I downloaded the app, And
Yeah.
I've tried the app out, I will admit. Something I've not said to Dakota. I have tried it outside, and I have seen weird lights in the sky after trying it.
Mm-hmm.
Too
And it's
too many other planets with more to offer the ETs for the ETs to bother us much. Believe it or not, that not really. Like, yeah, there are many planets. That is true, and they do go back home, but they find us very intriguing, and they are here for a reason.
and
Okay,
they're here.
all of our planets are in zinc and in line. Okay, so they do
They're
visit
worried.
here, and that they've been known to stay here. Some of them, Chris,
It's not just
Dakota.
that. It's not just that they're worried in case we start using nuclear weapons again, because
Hmm.
the Roswell incident happened after the nuclear tests,
Right.
and it's been proven. Dakota, you want to
So
tell them about
why
the
are
Roswell with
they?
aliens and stuff?
So why are they choosing now then? Is it because of things like that? Because we are at the brink of destroying our planet? Do you think? Is that why that?
Yeah, you think about it. We're destroying our planet, and
Aye, they're
we're
afraid that we
sending
get out
things
there.
up there that can potentially be dangerous to them, and that
Right.
they're destroying things to stop us from getting something happen to us
Right.
down here. Very much in reversal. Dakota is probably better to
Aye,
explain all of this because he
Dakota
knows what
knows
he's doing.
better about the Roswell and the
Yeah.
nuclear weapons.
As for why they're coming here, you only have to compare it to one thing. What's going to be the first thing you're going to want to do if you see a little child about to shove a knife into their own eye? Kind of a brutal example, but same basic point.
Yeah, you
They
want
view
intervene, don't you?
their fascination with us is a lot like our fascination with other primates on this planet. We see so
Yeah.
many similarities. One example that I've heard of from Neil deGrasse Tyson was that some of the smartest chimps out there have the same mental capacity as 9-year-olds, humans. We're the same way. A lot of our best technology is the equivalent of what we would give to toddlers for them.
Right.
And they
okay,
realize
okay.
we're going down a dangerous path. When the nuclear bombs went off, it set something off. When it comes to Roswell, the beings that were in that craft, those were kids.
Yes.
Oh, right.
And that was
Right.
kind of their wake up moment, like, okay, we might need to get a little bit more hands on with these ones, or they're going to do something that's going to
Right. Okay.
mess
I get you.
everything up.
That's quite interesting. What's that? I receive visions of civilizations such as bioluminescent worlds. That's like some of
That's
their
like the
worlds.
worlds you were talking about, Sherry, with like the purple, the blue,
The
and
purple.
the aura type of.
That's time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have. But there is like in a lot of my vision when I do go to my visitation,
time.
there is a purple planet and purple sky all the
That's
part.
time.
Like,
That's
Yeah, I
time.
think that's what the bioluminescent worlds is.
I've been there multiple times. Multiple times.
So, Chris, are you astral projecting then?
Oh God, I don't know. It starts off like a purple in this round about me.
Right.
And then, mind I said that to you, Dakota. I couldn't, before even Sherry started going on about the purpleness. I had a weird dream about the purples. This purple, it was like a cobweb. It was like a spider's web, and it was all around about me, and it was purple.
Right.
And the guy says, "This is how we travel." And they've showed me Titan. I've been everywhere. We are
Okay,
dangerous,
right.
impulsive. What's that? Dangerous, impulsive, violent, and probably possess more. See, that's what they're worried about. Humans getting into space.
Okay.
hello, Bumfluff.
Because
Paranormal.
You got to remember, what do us humans do best? We
well,
invade
report
countries
everything.
and then we take
report.
resources, right?
Mhm.
We go into space, we find a planet, we take over it, we take its resources, then we move to the next planet, and then we
Right,
move to the next
report,
planet.
Right.
That's what they're worried about.
Okay.
But if
That
they
makes
can
sense.
if they can contact us and try and get us to grow up, we could join them.
Right.
But that's why they're coming to people such as us, ones that are already open and very open
Oh,
to
yeah.
them. So I
Yeah,
think
they're-
that they are focusing on those that are spiritual and that at the minute, and
So what if
like
we keep
connected to
doing-
them in some sort of way. So
What does he want for us to keep spreading all these sightings? They
No,
want us to keep researching.
No,
They want
the,
us
the
to
one
keep-
is the one is to open up. The one is to
receive them.
try and bring it out. Try and I don't know, Dakota. You want to help me here? It's kind of hard to explain. It's like you feel all kind of fuzzy inside when they come to you. It's weird. It's
So
like
they're
the
trying
one.
to show you pure happiness, maybe, and
Aye.
how to
I
Show
feel
me-
privileged. I just feel
Aye.
privileged because, like, why would they choose me?
Yeah,
That's
there's two
what I keep
outcomes.
saying. Why? Why do you choose me?
They've already said there's two outcomes to this world. We
Yeah.
can either join them, and it'll be like a Star Trek society one day, or we can all die horribly
I
by
know,
killing
right?
ourselves. Because
That's
what's
why
going
we
to
have to
happen.
kind of wake up to the fact that these beings, when they do finally appear,
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tommy,
So-
thank you for coming in, sweetheart.
Thank you,
I will
Tommy.
talk to Chris and Dakota, and I will arrange for that interview with them because you're wanting them to come up on your show, which is absolutely awesome because they're really big in the UFO stuff, so that'd be good for you guys. So I'll sort with Chris and Dakota on dates and things like that and come across, or I'll send your email over to them so they can message you directly. Is that okay, gentlemen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's another interview for you guys then.
Aye, Dakota loves his interviews, doesn't he?
And
Look at him, he's just so happy.
Hey,
literally
you're just yelling.
UFO community. They get loads and loads of people go in their rooms, so
Yeah,
you will get a lot
sure.
of people that are really into what you're into. So you
Yeah.
will have a blast on there, and they're very good friends of mine.
So what do they want
So
for the common
Dakota
person?
explain to us a little bit more than
Let him.
what Chris was saying.
Did you know it's been found that you can affect the mindset of an entire population just by showing certain pictures to a small group?
Right.
The experiment that was done with this, basically, they set a group of people down, they show this picture, said, how many faces do you see in this picture? These people may say, oh, 5, or maybe it's 6, somewhere around there. They grab another group of random people, point out all the faces, which is closer to like 30 or 40 if I remember correctly. Now all of a sudden, even more random people are able to see all the faces at once.
Right. Okay, I get you. Uh-huh.
By slowly introducing themselves to people that are a bit more open-minded who could figure out what's going on, they slowly open up the rest of the world. All it
Right,
takes is
okay.
1% of the population to completely shift the tide.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing because obviously, like I said, I've had experiences, but I was very new into UFO since meeting Dakota and coming back in with Chris as well. They, for some reason, they chose me to communicate with and talk to. So I'm kind of in that line at the moment as well, guys, learning and
But you're the
Opening
medium of the
people.
group. You are the medium over the family type of thing, if you like. You're
yeah.
kind of-
No, I don't look at
So-
myself. I don't look at myself as a medium. I look at myself as a spiritualist. But yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
but you know
And
what
I
I mean,
do
don't
see
you?
visions and I
Yeah.
do talk and things like that, which I think is why they kind of asked me
Picture,
to
right.
come into this to try
I think
to
that's
help
what they've
Dakota
done.
and Chris a bit more.
Yeah.
Because you've been communicating with spirits and things when you were a child. So you
Yeah,
know the
5
difference.
years
A lot
old.
of people would maybe
5
just
years
think,
old.
yeah.
I have seen things such as fairies since I was 5 years old. I have had communication with other realms since I was young.
So they know that you know the difference. So that's
Yeah.
probably they've had to choose you to teach other people. No,
Well,
this isn't-
like when I spoke to my guy, he goes to me, "You're already doing what we want you to do." And I said, "What do you mean?" He
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
"You're already educating. You're already opening people's mind to the spirituality." He goes, "Now it's time for you to open them to us."
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Right.
right, okay. Go, still do what you're doing because that's who you are, but just know that you're linked to us as well. So you need to help us to get out there more and to learn people,
That's
and obviously help Chris and Dakota and everybody else as them
It's-
helping me as well.
that's the only thing though. Once you make contact with them and start talking to them like we do, you can't get rid of them. That's that.
So
Doesn't
how
matter
do
who
you
it is.
know
I've
these
found
are
that
good
out because
aliens?
that
How
first
do
day
you
you turned
know
up here,
this?
That
What's
first day
that?
he turned up,
They're
he
good.
was here.
How do
Sorry,
you
Drew,
know
go on.
they're good and that they're no wanting you to open all these people up so they can come and just take over or something like that? How do you know that these aliens or these ETs are good? How do you know this?
It's just that I know they're good. They're no, because it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you get for them. It's a weird kind of feeling that they only want to look after us,
Right. Okay.
right?
I remember your interview you did with Lisa. Maybe watch that, guys, if you go
And
back.
that's who they are. That is who they are. The Federation.
Right,
The
okay.
what is
She
they called
kind of
again?
convinced me
Dakota?
they were
The
good.
Galactic
So,
Federation. That is who they are.
right.
That
So they're the kind of people in command up there. The
yes,
he's all the other alien people, their
yes,
orders, if you like, to make sure that we are doing the right thing to help
Yeah.
our own
And
planet.
Yes.
they're no different to any other planet, are they? Or here, or spirit world. Do you know what I mean? You've got good and bad in everything, so it's
Oh,
no different for them as well.
there's-
So
Right, okay. So you could see them like say you looked at them at the government aspect, like they would have one, but the big one would be the Prime Minister, of course, it would tell all the other MPs type of thing. And I'm only using this as an explanation, okay? As an example. So they would tell all these ones in the, like, so it would be like an MP in your room, Sherry, an MP in Chrissy's room to kind of spread the message to us. Is that what the type of? I'm referencing
no,
it to
they come here with messages and visions and stuff. They
No.
do try to give us premonitions and things to
Right.
help us to go
Aye.
forward in what we're doing. But there's a lot
The
more.
one-
There's a lot more to it.
right.
The ones they've already
A
tell
lot
me
more.
what they want for me. They want me to contact people and open people up.
Yeah.
I've got 3
Right,
that come
okay.
to me. Dakota, how many have you got? You've got quite a few today, haven't you?
There's sometimes where I pick up at least 20. I don't know if any of you picked up on it. At least 5 times I spotted one of them popping up around Chris.
Right. I've
Yeah.
seen what I did see a shadow a couple of times past Chris, but I wasn't sure if it was his lighting.
That's alright.
So,
I know
so
who
they're
it is.
just really wanting you to
I know who it
enlighten
is.
the people that's already
Of course I know who
enlightened
it is.
to
He's here
help
to know.
spread the message then.
He's here to know.
Because they'll give us the experiences so we feel it, that they're good, that they feel it, that the message that they want to spread.
No, I've got 2 that come to me, and then I've got the woman that comes to me. The woman that comes to me, she's alright. She's laid back. She's like chilled all the time. She's chilled all the time. Then there's the guy that I must pronounce his name, and he doesn't like it when I call him Varlon, right? I call him Varlon. He got into a lot of trouble a couple of weeks ago when he got me to play the tones for Sherry.
So
And she
yeah,
went into
I
one.
was worried about that.
And then there's my new friend, which is here now,
Right.
and he's very powerful. He's very powerful. He's
Right.
he's top of the leaderboards.
And is it just
Dakota can
make sure
explain
you're
it better
saying
than
the
I
right
can.
thing? Is that why you think they're there to make sure you're saying the right thing?
No, it just it takes me sometimes. I could let him in the know if I wanted to, but I'm no.
Right.
It's because I don't like doing it with other people watching it.
No,
so
I wouldn't do
only
it
people.
live.
Aye.
Can you ask something to affect my meter? My K2 meter?
I could ask him to affect Dakota's meter.
He just
like
did
that,
mine.
yeah.
Why can they not do mine?
Hello, Tim.
Effect.
Tim is UFO man, guys. This is the other half of
Hey,
Tommy.
Tim.
Hey Tim, hey you
Hello.
man.
My lights just flickered there. Did you see that? My lights
Yes.
These are the gentlemen, Tim, that I'm on about. You guys meeting, and Tommy's wanting an interview with them, so that's for you. So I'm going to be setting up an interview for you guys to come up and come up on your show, Tim, so I can go up there.
I can say for instance go to Dakota and make his EMF flash. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. They don't like performing.
No, I
For
know,
people.
but it was just as a just to let me see.
Now they did it for you and Dakota at the same time.
Right, because because my lamp flickered. It wasn't my K2, but it was my lamp behind me.
Yeah, they're here to know. They're here to know. They're very strong.
Do you feel that maybe they're trying to connect to you, Chris?
Aye, I've blown
because
them, you know.
we're
Aye.
noticing little strange things about you.
What's
Like
that?
your movement and things have changed. I noticed your
that?
movement and Dakota's noticed your eyes. Are you feeling okay?
Oh, I'm feeling fine.
Okay.
I'm feeling fine. I'm not letting them in now.
Aye, I
It's
wouldn't do it in your life. Welcome, Dover.
So anybody got any questions now? Like sis, I know that you had loads of questions for them. So do you want to?
Fire
I've just
away.
asked hundreds.
Okay, so hello, Dobbies. How are you, sis?
I'm interested to know if Dakota, see that the experiences you've had with your alien guys and your wee family and things. Do you think it's the same as what's connecting to Chris, or is it different, like a different family type of thing? Do you know what I mean? Or do you think these are related in that way?
The female that comes through him is apparently my sister from the past
Aye,
life.
it's his
Right.
sister.
Okay.
Well, I didn't say past life. It's
How else do we call it?
Yeah, it's going to kind of be explained
it-
that way.
It's
it-
explained that way, but
Your
you'll
alien
see it
life.
again.
Your alien
Because-
life, right?
Yeah, there's times where they may have actually pulled me out and I'm in that other body, only to put me back. It's literally like something out of the Matrix. So how do
Right.
I?
Okay.
So if that also explains, if I'm apparently married to an ET woman, does that mean every single relationship I've been in was me cheating?
Think of it in this sense. You've got a galactic child support system in the
And does that mean
reaches.
you're allowed to have a human relationship? Maybe you're not even allowed to have a human relationship now.
That's what I mean. I was like, does that mean I've been cheating? What?
And you're not. I know. So there we go.
I don't know. That's really
just
hard
not know
to
it?
actually explain that one. I wouldn't say that you are because she's in another thing. But
No,
then
I
at the
see,
same
I
time,
wouldn't
you are
say
married.
that.
Like it's random. I don't know. That's a hard one to.
You need to ask her the next time you see her. Listen,
No,
am I allowed
think-
to have human relationships here?
The thinking of others, they come all the time, but I just tell them to bugger off.
Right.
There's kind of like the one that's here the new is really old. It's thousands of years old, but he's very. I don't know what's
That's
what's
what
the
they've been
word that I would
waiting
say.
on.
What can you? How would you explain that person? You've spoke to him, Dakota. You've spoke to him.
Is this the time that these beings have been waiting on? Is right now? Is this what they've
Yes.
been waiting on? Right. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
did
I agree
Dakota,
too.
sorry, I don't want to mention it. Then my light's flipping again. Did the sea thing that happened, did that have a lot to do with why they're kind of used now? Because a lot of people are going to be right, this world needs to change. You think that's
Oh, aye.
why they're kind of...
You've got 10 years before this world's had it. You've got about 10, 20 years, that's it.
Right, okay.
There's been 3 civilizations on this world.
That could do just with me.
3. We're the last ones. That's it. See, after this,
Right, okay.
that's it. They're no populating this planet again. That's it. If it fails totally, that's it. That's it. They're not going to do anything.
Right, so we've got that. We have to start changing our ways now and teaching our young and things as well. So
No,
is this going
I
to
agree
do
with
like
that, Tim.
recycling and things as well? So we've got to start recycling and things more. Is this what they're trying to make us
I wouldn't
do
say
more
no.
things?
No, it's they want the wars to fix first. The wars have to stop the killing.
Right.
Aye, that the pollution's nothing. That can be dealt with in a couple of years with their technology. Yeah, they can wait. Let's put it this way: see if they came tomorrow, right? Within 5 years, there'd be no pollution. There'd be no ozone layer. There'd be no illnesses.
So what
the
we
ozone
do-
laser is good.
If we spread the love and talk to our kids and things
Aye,
to
that-
try and get them back on a level and no wanting to fight, no wanting to act on the maybe I don't know what I'm trying to say, like if they had like activist intentions, like I
They've
want to be
already-
an activist, if they not to be activists and things, if they to try and chill out and do things the right way, or have they to go and protest?
Once they've came here and once we ken that they exist in that, what they'll do is they'll they'll take away all the weapons and stuff, and they'll give us weapons to defend ourselves, and show us how to travel the stars, and then they'll leave, and they'll go back home.
Right.
We'll still be able to go and see them. They'll come and see us. We'll just be a member of them, and then we'll go to another world, just like this. And
They
that
just
will
want
work
us
out
to
again, and
start
then that'll
looking
join.
into our planet
and-
more
Aye.
and be more spiritually aware. We think,
It's
and help our kids because they're the next generation. They want us to like educate our kids that these things are around and that they try to help us. And if you ever see them or feel them, that they're just want to connect to you. Much like what we do with the ghosts and the
I can
things.
guarantee you all right now, there's one with Dakota, there's one with Shen, there's one with you Drew right now.
Probably.
And some of the people in the chat that are into UFOs, I can sense they're being watched.
I just want to make sure if they're choosing us to spread a message,
Yeah, and
we
the
get the
thing is,
message
like these
right.
guys said,
that we
Drew,
have to
like with
spread.
me, I've been channeling and doing my communication with spirits since I was 5 years old. So I've kind of got to know the difference between a negative energy and a good energy. So I know that the guys that are around me are of good nature. Okay, and they like my guy is a watcher. Now, what I mean by a watcher is he's somebody that's an extraterrestrial that comes from their world, comes here to watch us and to study us, to learn about us, and to also help us to learn about them and communicate and to get word out about them. A lot of the
Yes.
time, my guy will just stand there and say nothing, can just watch me, and he'll do the telepathy talking to me. I can hear his voice, or he'll show me something. It's only on very, very special occasions his mouth actually moves and he starts talking to me.
That's actually quite an interesting question. Is it thinking of others put? Do aliens see
And-
our world as a countries or as one big world?
Dokota.
They don't see countries. They don't. I don't think they see countries. They just see us as humans.
See us as one big race.
They just see it. They see each of us as like
They don't believe in borders.
different planets. It's just different planets with beings on
Earth,
it. You know what I mean?
Earth,
Like we're an Earth
Mars.
being.
They don't go. They don't believe in other countries. Dakota, what do you think?
They try to get each world to communicate with each other. If there is anything even remotely resembling borders to them, that just makes it easier to find things on the map in their world.
Right, okay.
Each world has their own separate, different organization, their own government structures, but they do all eventually work together. They do all communicate. The way they see it, if we're fighting on our own world, we're only going to be doing more damage than good, even if it's under the best circumstances.
I wonder what the requirements are for. What's that?
Tagging people.
That says I have. Tag. What do you think, Dakota?
Actually, there is one rumored requirement.
Yeah,
negative
what's that?
blood.
Yes.
Like I was going to say, I know that they do put things into you because when I've had my experiences,
Yeah,
I've got a funny lump in my chest that was never there, and it's never
I've
gone.
got
It's
one
in a cylinder shape. I had the
Yeah.
marks that were turned up on my arm. I know that Dakota picked up on something the other day when I was talking about my birth sign and being upside down. His face kind of just changed. It was really weird. I don't know, but I feel like I can't remember which one of you it was, but somebody was saying that there's some sort of implant
Oh, aye. I've got you.
Yeah.
Dakota's probably
from
got one.
birth. Like obviously, I've had it since birth.
Yeah.
It's been there the whole time. They look like moles, but somebody said, like one of you said, they're implants. But
Yeah.
I'm quite intrigued in what you picked up, Dakota, and did it help you to try and figure out the picture a little bit more?
It seems to be a common formation, for lack of a better word, that there's a certain triangle pattern that certain abductees have had that is widely believed to be the site of an implant. It's not yes, it can be used. It's kind of like how we tag people. I think that's kind of a morbid example, but yeah, I see where you're getting it at there. It can actually function to boost psychic connection with ET hosts, and in some cases, it's believed that, say, the people we have visiting us were somehow genetically related.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to ask you, because like I said to you when I spoke to you first, you say I said to you that I felt like that they were some sort of like a family sort of link. I didn't know if that maybe like it can't be my mum and dad, because apparently we're not able to sit, we're not meant to see our direct family from up there, or can we?
We're not supposed to, but I was also not supposed to find out about my wife and kids. That was kind of a
Because I just think that it's
desperation.
random. They've not let on to me that
Well,
they're my parents, but they call me.
put it
They go,
this way.
"You're our
Well,
star
it's-
child," and I said, "What do you mean by when you say I'm your star child?" And they just go, "You are a star child."
Put it this way, I'm not going to give you away where you are, but Dakota knows where you're from, and I know where you're from. Because I got a row from them for telling where it is. Remember, Dakota? Remember I showed you? I showed you the constellation. But
Well,
I
I
need
had
to be
you, honey.
very careful.
Yeah.
I need to be very careful, and I don't tell them where you are right now. Because I don't want something to happen.
Yeah, you maybe keep all that private.
But I know
Do every world religion somehow believe in aliens? That's what I'm thinking.
well, let's face it. Let's face it, right? Here we're going to go down the religious path, right? Dakota gets into a time machine. He goes back
Thank you,
3,000 years,
Shima-san.
right? He's wearing a big shiny suit, right? Just hypothetically here, he's wearing a big shiny suit, right? The door opens in the spaceship and he walks out and there's all these people and they're like, oh my god, he must be a god. Bowing to him and stuff. And he can do magical things. What would you do, like 3,000-4,000 years ago, right? You're living in a grass hut and all of a sudden this big ship comes over the top of you, hovering in midair. The creature comes out that's knows everything, can heal everything. What would you do? You would think he was a god, wouldn't you? Let's look at the lions.
To your, that's hard to explain. I don't know.
Moses didn't part the sea. It was an alien.
Yeah, pretty much.
Question for anyone on the panel.
And
is it?
Dobby's,
Is it?
your question. To me, it depends on the implant. Okay, like not every implant that is put into an abductee's body is able to be picked up.
Yeah.
Some, maybe,
Yes.
but not all.
Some
Dakota
of them are
Chris
like
might know a
grains of
bit more
rice.
about this. I've had MRI scans,
And you
I've
think
got this
about it,
thing
they've
in
got
mind,
the
and I've never
technology
seen
for a
anything picked
lot,
up.
so they would have the technology to hide that, you know?
Dude, Dakota Ken's better. You've got to remember, you're dealing with societies that are millions of years advanced, right? They could put something inside you, you could feel it under your skin, you could go and get an x-ray taken and then nothing was be seen because it's built into the technology to hide itself.
Yeah, no,
What do
that's
you
what I'm
think,
saying.
Dakota?
So I have the lump here, and ever since having that abduction, and it's still there now. It's like in a cylinder shape. But I've had MRI scans because of my illness, and it doesn't show. It doesn't show up on there at all. But I can feel it.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, right? Do you remember I told you when I'm ghost hunting sometimes I go to like the gate or somewhere and I'll put my symbol on it, and it's just a focus point for me to kind of astral project straight back to there if I need to take an energy back, if you like, right?
Yeah.
Do you not think that could be like a marking on you, just a marking for them to connect to you straight away?
Yes, I do. I believe that they implant you for a reason, and I believe that for a big reason. You know what I mean? And I've not had no detections on what I've got one here, and my recent one I've got a lump one in my arm as well, which has also not been picked up. You can't see it.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. It's like a focal point just for them to quickly connect to you, know, so they can track you or keep tabs on you. I think it's for them to quickly connect to you like a magnet.
I think it depends who's taking you there.
Right.
It's different for what
Exactly.
species take you. I mean, the Palladians.
And some of
I
them,
would-
like
I-
UFO Man saying here, he had it done to him, but after 6 months it disappeared.
yes.
Right.
See,
Do you know
like,
what I mean?
like
Mhm.
Greys, for instance. Let's talk about the Greys. They are evil. Some of them are evil. And they've actually been getting exterminated on the Earth now. Talking like a Dalek here, they've actually been at war with the Federation. The Galactic Federation. They've actually been at war.
Is that what the spiritual war is that's been going
Yes.
on? I know a lot of
Age of
Part of
Aquarius
it.
and stuff like that. Aye.
I know a lot of people that's actual star seeds and things, and they tell me way back at the beginning of the year that there was actually a spiritual battle going on
Yeah.
up above,
Yeah.
and that's why
I know
we're
she's up above,
here would
underground.
reveal a lot of things.
The-
So that's probably been then,
That's
isn't
what
it?
I'll-
So do you think star seeds then, right? Star seeds is like somebody like me or Sherry that's kind of into witchcraft and things, but instead we all start off with reaching out to higher deities like your gods, your goddesses and things, right? And then through a lot of research and things as we do as witches and want to connect to our higher being, we actually find out that we're actually a lot as our star seeds, right? And what star seeds
Yeah.
are basically like we actually aren't connecting to a deity, we're actually connecting to like a higher alien form or a higher alien being that is
Yes.
deceased and now a goddess type of alien being, if you get what I mean. That teaches spiritual people how to fight battles with demons, aliens that's deceased and turned bad, that type of thing. Do you think that's all connected to the Aztec?
Yeah,
Do you think
I
they
do. I said to on the show to Chris and Dakota the other day that I believe that aliens are of a higher power. They're like God and everything else. I do believe
Yeah.
that they are a very big part of our creation
see that's where I
and
feel that
Yeah.
things
witchcraft
like that.
things fits in. Because a lot of witches and things think that they are connected to gods and goddesses, where they're not really, they're actually connected to the alien side of things. It's spiritual.
A golden thing.
And that is why they're called upon to fight like aliens and demons and things in the astral realms, is because they have got like a higher
Very
being.
very weird, Shimmer Soul. Interesting.
It's quite interesting that you say about people being born again. It's like when they've told me stuff, they've told me. How can I explain this?
See, you could be like, See, there's meant to be like people that go to the astral realm and fight demons on the other side and things for our higher purpose as well.
See, usually the people that are doing this and like us, we chose to do this. This is our mission. We
Yeah.
agreed to this. But it's weird because I can sense something for some reason. It's weird. It's a weird kind of feeling. Let Dakota talk because I can feel something. I don't know what
You
it
just
is.
want to fuss it out first. No joke. What I say with thinking says, no joke. Would the human race put up if the aliens asked to take back with them one human baby?
Don't know.
Depends on which humans that they're dealing with.
Aye, if we're dealing with the deep state black government, they'll probably give them a bus fare.
It's already been
Technology.
doing.
Yeah.
That'd
It's
be
several
interesting.
missing
You could
persons.
get to talk to him, wouldn't it? Terry
What's that?
Lovelace. UFO man, he says, if you get Terry Lovelace on your channel, he has pictures, x-rays of implant that is still in his knee.
And then he put this. The aliens told him not to remove it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a reason to why they've done it. Obviously, as you would know as well, Tim. So,
Yeah, definitely. You could sit
we're
and
having a
talk about
very
all this for
interesting
hours.
chat. We're going along perfectly, but is there anything that you guys would like to talk about what's going on your channel, and then maybe we could go into doing a little bit of the spirit sound apps and bits to see if we can get anything to go on.
Well, as Chris and Sherry know, there was a bit of an experiment to kind of follow up with the JFK bit that we were talking about on our show, where I'm fairly certain President Kennedy came through, and it took me about 4 days to get the files to be somewhat tangible so I can actually go through and analyze it. Something tried shutting me down when I did that. So we're trying to get that up online here soon. We do have Christina Gomez coming on. We're going to do a pre-recorded interview with her on Monday. We also have a few other guests that we're trying to get lined up, but due to scheduling conflicts and it being the holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Christmas season is upon us. That Christine Gomez, that should be an amazing interview.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
it's
Humor
pre-recorded.
and Soul said, "Do you believe we have hybrids walking around among us?"
Yes.
I watched the interview with UFO man.
Yes.
All I can say to that is laugh. Like, yes, darling, definitely.
Yeah, it's
We'll see.
yeah, it's there's aliens.
See, that opens up another question. So do you think it's only their hybrids that they take back then and abduct? Or do you think it's
No,
humans as well?
they-
Or do you think
they
they
were
take their
planted
hybrids
here.
back?
No, they were planted here. The aliens genetically manipulated cells wherever their ship is or their moon or wherever. Then they bring them down and they put them into the mother. The mother
Right,
has the
okay.
child.
Right, so it's done that way, right?
Dakota could be one of them. Sherry could be one of them. You could be one of them. I could be one of them. It's
We just don't
Tim
know.
actually makes a very good
There's-
point.
Welcome, Scottish.
There are very
He's
few
Scottish.
pure humans left on this planet.
yes.
Right,
They have
okay.
been trying to make us compatible with them for thousands upon thousands of years.
Hello, Scottish Outlook. Oh, welcome into the room, darling. And yes, Tim, and I agree, Dakota as well. Yeah, and we've had this conversation on the show as well, haven't we, Tim? Where
Right, so that
you know,
begs the
when you
question
look
as well,
at
I
that, like
think,
there
right?
was a diagram that I put up to do with aliens, and it showed you aliens going into a human form. We have been worked with and studied with for many, 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 many years, and this is how we've become like this.
Right, playing devil's advocate, right? So how do you know that the what was I trying to say there? So how do you know that the people that's trying to like help using it? How have I got to explain this? What I'm trying to say? How
Would
do
you-
you know that the governments and things are no trying to stop it all coming out because they know something we don't? Like it's maybe no for our higher good. And I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay? How
Did
do you
they
know
not?
that the governments don't know more than you know and know these things are bad?
Dakota.
Just playing devil's advocate for a good show. You know?
They've known for
I mean, the
quite
government's
some
no wrong.
time.
Right.
They've known for quite some time. If they come down, it's not necessarily anyone from the Federation or the Council of Five. It's not just the Federation that's out there. There's multiple different societies, different federations, groups, organizations, whatever you want. They know there may have been at some point where intentions were pure because they realized humans absolutely suck with people who have just minor differences in appearances here on Earth. What are they going to do once Ronald Reagan even said that the first thing that's going to get people to unite on this world is an alien invasion? That's a line that's been quoted by Nazis.
Zombies.
With zombies, there's so many different medical phenomenon, natural phenomenon, to where it's no longer a what if possibility. There are legitimate plans out there for zombie apocalypse. There's plans out there toted by the Nazis for a fake alien invasion. It's out there.
It's like the rabies virus. I mean, if I imagine a rabies virus that had been genetically modified to make humans basically go rabies. All these 28 days later zombie films and that, some of that stuff is real. You've got to remember some of the governments in this world will have these things locked away in their deep vaults.
Oh, for sure. I know, definitely.
With me, I believe 100%. Like the government have been like lying to us for a very long time. Okay, there are so many things that we've seen physically with our eyes that they've lied and they've hid and made to look like something else. And you know, in my opinion, and through what I see and learning and seeing other people as well that are in this connected in this
Especially
way as
the
well.
UN, isn't it?
You know,
Aye, but see,
if
this
they're
is
dangerous and that they're all dangerous and they're all bad, yeah, why would they take us? Why would they not do something to us when we're up there with them? Why would they not do that? They don't. They bring us back. They're here. They're around us.
but
They're
see, this is
communicating with us. And
but this
you
is
know,
what you've got to think about. The government are not in charge. It's the black government that's in charge. The deep state.
yeah, that's what I'm on
You've
about.
got
the
to
black
remember,
government.
the black government, the deep state. These are entities that have their own military, their own air force, their own navy, right? These people are more powerful than the government.
Government's right. Okay.
Yeah, but I still don't
Black
trust
paper
our
neck.
government either. They're
No,
they're
no, no.
just as corrupt as anything else. You know what I mean?
Because-
They're no
yeah.
different.
Because they're the one that's to push out the medication and things. It's to keep us
Yep.
oppressed.
Yep.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
There
It's
you
got
go,
to be even
isn't
more
it?
interesting the more that we can connect people that's got this type of attitude to talk.
Exactly, Dobbies. That is very true. The government
very
has
true.
told us openly among about the plans through films. They have, and there are many
Right.
messages in them. As me, Dakota, and all that. And Chris had this little discussion on their show the other day about movies and
They're definitely not going
messages.
to like all these different people that use UFO man, Teresa, and everybody, whatever you.
very
and
true again.
They're never going to like all of these people coming together.
See,
Then
There's the thing out there is the fake alien invasion. That's the last card that's to be played, right? Dakota knows what I'm talking about. Don't need Dakota. They've had their wars. That was one of the cards. They've had their famines, and that was one of the cards. They've had their viruses. That was one of the other cards. And the last card
is
that
the
the black
invasion.
government's got to play is the fake alien invasion, and it will unite the world.
Right.
But
Very
Yeah.
welcome, Angel. So, what do you guys want to do now?
play the twins if you want. See what happens.
Who wants to play the tones?
It's up to you. I've got one.
On my phone, it don't sound that great. It's okay for my ears, but it's not the proper app. It's just where
I can play it for these if you want, because I've got a bit professional microphone and I've got.
we could do that, and we could make like. Hang on a minute. So, shall we do the tones, and shall we put? Do you want to? Shall we put a spirit box on like a necrophonics and see if we can get them
Yeah, do that.
to communicate? So we'll
Yeah.
do the tones and that as well.
Oh, they'll come
Just give us a
through.
few minutes
They'll come
because
through.
I
Oh,
wanted
they'll come
these
through.
guys to show you kind of what they do. Like it may not happen. They will, if they don't want to communicate, they won't communicate, guys. But they are here and showing interest. So we'll see what we can get through the spirit boxes. If anyone goes, they go. You know what I mean? If they're going
I'll
to
put the
communicate, they're
K2
going to
up here
communicate.
as well.
So I will warn you. There may possibly be channeling, guys. I am warning you.
Just better not be for me. Timber, come here.
You know,
Well, they
you're
say you're
probably
too
playing
bold,
right into their
Andrew.
hands, by the way, if you want to play this tone, by the way. I just want to point that out to you. You're probably playing right into their hands right now. Want to play this. Just telling you. Before anything happens.
What, you talking to me?
I'm talking to everybody. I'm just
Right,
telling
yeah.
you you're probably playing into their hands when you
He's
play
not
this
wrong.
tone. Okay? And I'm going to play the tones now, okay? I'll
Wait a
play the
minute
first
to ask
tone.
my guides if this is a good idea.
Just be very careful. But
Do you
he
think
seems to
I
be
should
right.
let? Do you think I should let myself hear these tones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
You sure?
You're fine. There is nothing going to
Okay.
happen to you. And like my guy's saying, it's safe.
Right, here
it's
we go.
fine, do not worry.
Can you hear it?
Noise. Maggie said noise. Yeah, I'll turn this down and then talk.
What's Dakota's end? Do you want to try a spirit box now? Maybe you'll get some.
The spirit talker said, my throat, Denise and Jim. I'll
Yeah.
turn necrophonic on.
You want to do your one, sis, or we put a
I'll
couple
put
on?
necrophonic on.
Yeah, do the necrophonic.
I can
Do that,
understand necrophonic better.
You're playing right into their hands, you know that. Just want to point that out there. Be very careful.
Can you tell me if the tones brought anything to the room? If there is anything here, can you affect the K2 meter for me, please? It's up here. Well, it doesn't sound like anything normal. Maggie, can you tell me if there's any other entities here, please?
They honour.
Tell me who it is.
I think they want you to speak the language.
Did that just...
Tell me if it's a human spirit. It's not. Maggie just said it's
No,
not.
it's not human.
Did you say that? It's not. Is it scaring you, Maggie? Tell me if it scares you or if it's peaceful. One at a time, please. I can't understand you when there's three of yous. One at a time. Tell me if it feels peaceful.
appreciative?
Are they here to help? Yes. That's different.
Oh, yes.
That's different. Can you tell me your name? No. My name's Adrina. My friends call me Drew. Would you like to call me Drew? That's different. To prove you're here, can you affect that K2 meter for me, please? And it's not to get you to do parlour tricks, it's just for proof.
I bet Dakota's will go off
Decide,
shortly.
that's it. I've decided.
Say that again.
Liam's in bed. Is there anything that the new beings would like to say to us? We'll try to give you a voice.
That said alien. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Tell me what they want from us. Tell them what they want. Tell us what they want from us. Do they want to help us?
Do they want us to help them?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
If we help each other, for the greater of man.
Aura.
Yes.
You
That's a
sound
big
like
yes.
aura.
Aye. Maggie, tell me if they're scary. No. It's aliens. Do you hear that? It's aliens. Timestamp that. That said it's aliens. I swear.
They want you to speak the language of the light.
I don't know the language of the light.
Ah, Dakota and Sherry know it. It's alright.
Sonra
Yeah, local.
Said light beings.
şiiri
Yeah.
raptor i och sen inlaggat shorts. Aha, die.
Can you now tell me in our language what they're saying? Some often us. What about Earth and us? We're Earth and yous are us. What do you mean? Do you want us to come together as one?
Shota
Yeah, the Council of Nine.
Intro. In that
Have we
that's
to be what
it
as
shut
one?
up. Ikana.
Yes. Have we to try and help each other? Tell me what we can do to help you today. What do you want from us today? Have we just to keep doing these lives and spreading the word? Is that what we have to do? Yeah. Have we to keep spreading the word and doing things like this? Yes. Is Mr. Mackenzie here? Mr. Mackenzie, can you tell me if they're good? Yes. Margaret, did they scare you? Some of them would.
Some of them look
Right.
different. I don't mean it. But mind you, we look odd to them.
Right. Thank you for communicating with us. I appreciate it. So if we just to keep being positive and spreading love and light. Yes. As a female. Is that what the mission is to spread love and light to people, to bring us back together in a loving community? I just said that's the quest. Did you hear that?
The quest is Avalon is what you request.
One at a time. I just said that is the quest. Maybe that's why where I get involved, because I do want to spread like positivity and bringing people together. Maybe that's where I fit in. Is that what you want from me? Is to help them spread the word?
You Dakota, look at the point. Look into the darkness. What do you see?
I've got to keep spreading positivity, people. That can in that table shaking. That can was doing that on that table. Tell me if that's what the mission is to keep spreading love and light, positivity. If we help each other recover from mental health and things so we don't destroy any more of our planet with hatred. That's what that is. That
Sherry,
what's
ask.
that's what that.
Can you give a minute? Sherry, ask
but it's
Dakota a
what
question. What do you see, Sherry, right now? What do you see in front of you?
I see Dakota in her. There's greenery. He's standing there. There's these beings around him.
Yes.
They're coming together in a civilization because they're making communication with more than just us on this panel at this moment.
Well, they're making it with loads of people in actual fact,
And
there's people in
this
the
is
chat
their
that
first
thought,
proper reach out apart from being on other shows.
yes.
Your job is to work for us,
Mm-hmm.
to show compassion and love to this world. We are not enemy. We are helpers. We are a higher being that understands this world and understands the other worlds. And you need to learn the same. You do this through love, compassion, and understanding. War, evilness, and defeat is not the way. We are here to learn you. Do not fear us.
That's it. Well done. You're getting an applause for mine, by the way.
That was weird, Dave, saying that, but that is your quest. I'm gonna have to listen to this back.
See, Dakota can see something. What can you see, Dakota?
What's coming?
I can see a room. I can see that Dakota is seeing like some sort of room.
The thing that Dakota's been wanting to find for a long time's in that room.
It feels very powerful. It's
He needs to
something
reach
that's
out.
very, very significant to their culture and who they are.
He needs to reach out and grab it.
I am myself again, guys. I am here, but I am able to see things because my guy's visioning me what Dakota's showing now. Or I'm seeing a room.
My one isn't way me, he's way Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not he's not on his own. There is other ones with him.
Yeah. He's got about 7.
Yeah. You've got a couple of really tall ones and there's shorter ones. I've not seen them before.
They want you to
They're in
grab the thing in front of you.
like a very pale grey suit. And they're standing there. They're smaller than these taller ones.
They want Dakota to grab the thing in front of him. When he grabs it, he'll experience something that he's never experienced before.
I'm going to come fully out, like just come out, and I'm just going to let you focus on Dakota because Dakota's obviously picking up on something. My guy might be able to show things to Dakota as well because he's doing something weird at the moment. He's rocking back and forth, so he's doing something.
Mine's not here. Mine's us here, but he's here and there.
But you guys have been doing it a lot longer than I have, so he
Yeah.
doesn't leave my side. My female's gone, but he's staying.
Jerry, you still
Because
alive?
obviously I'm still with
Aye.
him. It's a new teaching with them, and it's not like my spirits. So
We're still alive, Drew.
Right, I just didn't look that way. Right?
that was interesting though, because even because I was like in between my channeling and not channeling, so I could still hear and see everything that they were saying and hearing. I can remember what I was saying because I was not fully channeling. I was in between where they're coming through, but I was still aware of what I was doing, and I could hear what the responses on the spirit box, which is why there's responding coming back. That's really weird.
It was my kids.
Say that again, Dakota.
It was my kids.
Yeah,
That's it.
Did you see the thing that I was trying to tell you about?
Mm-hmm.
I see a room. I could see you standing outside a room, going in, like trying to go into a room. I could see other beings around you. There were some tall beings, and there was there were smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those- And there was a little message from up there as well. I still laugh at it because it's still shocking to me. Like I still
You see
find it
the
really bizarre.
messages, but wait till you hear them back. They were confirming everything we were saying. I
Yeah.
can understand. I can
Hello, Doris,
understand
darling.
microphonic clear as day.
Yeah,
I
like
can
when
understand.
certain things were being said, they were responding to it, and then Drew would say something, and they'd explain it, and
When you, what I'm getting to is you want to listen to the words you were saying when you were speaking the language.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I know that a couple of the words that I was saying was "Do not fear us. We're not here to hurt you." And then there was some other stuff, but I'm still getting used to their language, so I don't understand what the rest of it was, but I did get that bit.
There's somebody in the chat there that's experiencing the same thing.
Where?
I don't know. One of them is experiencing.
Is there anybody else in the chat that's feeling a bit funny? You might feel like you've got somebody around you.
Just coming.
If you're feeling energies in that, please do not be alarmed. There may be a reason to why they're trying to communicate, because they are looking for others. Chevy, you did a special for Misty all night, and yet Chris here shut the poor cow down.
What?
Okay, huh?
What's he going on about?
Actually,
What
what are you
is-
talking about? I don't know what you mean, Paul. Just keep it about the night stream, okay? Just keep it about what's happening just now. Okay, bud?
What is up with that guy?
He's a
That
strange
cheese.
one.
Hatchie's alright. Just cooled out. Just keep it to what's about the night, pal, right? Till we figure out what's going on. That was interesting though, because everything that I was saying and
I have a
asking,
little
they were
boy spirit
confirming. I was asking what did I ask? What they wanted for us, and what did they say again? It's on about quest. That is your quest. When I was asking about what have we to do today,
Yeah, because you said something. You said something before I went in. You were saying about what may be on here to spread the
That's
positivity
right,
and do it that way. And then I started saying things to you, and then I said about being civilized and being special and important and being kind to each other and things like that. And then I said something in my language, and then that goes, "It's your quest."
So basically, that's what they want us all to do. Then is to keep spreading love and light, and don't
It's
ignore.
not just that they're only able to tell you so much at the minute. They can only say
They're doing that
so
so
much
that
to you
we-
in public.
They're giving us the growing tools to stop.
They want us
wars
to
and
teach and
things.
educate people about them. They want
Uh-huh.
us to do these sort of sessions where they can communicate with us and
Try
with
stop
them
all the
directly. That's what
violence.
they want. But
Because if you think about it, the more positivity and things you spread, the less people are going to be depressed and doing these silly things. So it's the only way you can really change people in your own wee society is to spread
yeah,
like love.
and that's what they want. They want people to be
positivity.
positive and loving and caring. Because if people are positive, loving, and caring, then we may become more positive, loving, and caring about our planet. Okay, so they're wanting us to connect. You know.
So I think that's what they want for yourself, is to just keep doing like.
The thing is there's a lot more to them than that. You know, they're not just they're
course,
here for that, but they're here for other reasons. You know, there are people here on this planet.
But I was
that are
asking what they
are
wanted for
associated
us.
with them.
I was asking what they wanted, like specifically for us, like me as a common Scottish
Yeah.
person. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
no some big
you're
NASA
the
astronaut
positivity in that.
son.
There is a little bit
Aye.
more to you. There is a little
Aye.
bit more to you, but they'll reveal that to you when they're ready.
Uh-huh.
But you know, at the minute, keep doing the positivity, and you know,
Aye.
just every now and again when you're live and that, just mention about people's channels that do UFOs and stuff. Just keep
Definitely. Yeah.
people in tune. Sherry, while you were channeling, I saw a shadow behind you go from left to right. He will, because he was walking
Shadows
around.
everywhere.
Yeah, I see his shadow all the time, and he moves things. Yeah.
Strange.
So Dakota, how are you feeling? You're awfully quiet, buddy.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm fine.
So what are you
Good, good, good.
thinking?
To the wind.
I think I need to go back in when we're done here.
Aye.
Okay.
Go back
think
in. What do you mean, go back in?
Aye, he's got to go back.
He's wanting to play the tunes and that again.
I think everybody in the
I
chat
am not
tonight's
familiar
gonna
with this
experience-
energy.
You
It
think
doesn't
there's
feel
more they want to say,
energy
Dakota?
feels so different. You may have something there with you, shimmering soul. If you're saying you're feeling and I am not familiar with this energy. It feels different.
The reason I said
Well,
there's somebody in the
Chris
chat.
did say that it's somebody else in the chat.
Chris said that there was somebody in the room that was having.
Dakota, do you think they want me to turn the necrophonic back on? Do you think they're not finished? See what they want to say.
Well, they're open to the idea of the lies. They don't exactly like. They're not ready for brand exposure yet.
Right.
No.
So they just want to spread like we. I know I wouldn't want to totally pry into everything
My guy said
anyway,
that.
but
That's why he was only letting me say so much. Then it
I
cut
just
me off.
wanted to figure
Like,
out
no
what
more.
the because you keep saying that I'm involved in this somehow, but
You are.
I don't know how. So I was just want to ask the questions of where I'm involved in this, and I think that's what they mean is I have to keep spreading the positivity.
Tonight, a lot of the people in the chat that are open to this, and a lot of the people that are here now are going to experience something. These are all going to experience something tonight when you go to your beds.
Maybe not
I
even
know that
when
for a fact.
the weather is clear enough
Yeah,
and you have a
definitely,
decent
Maggie,
jacket.
I agree with that.
Step
I think
outside.
that's the only way that we can start changing people's mindsets.
Well, if you do go to bed tonight and you have some weird dreams or you have weird things happen, write it down, guys, and come back to us and say to us about it, because there may be something that's relevant in that. Because normally when you do play these tones, if you have got some sort of spiritual connection, you do become affected if they're wanting communication with you. So you may feel things.
And Shimmer, they've definitely brought us all together for a reason.
Yeah.
We've definitely all been brought together.
I do feel there's people
his
in the
eyes
chat.
keep going in the back of his head. Is he all right?
He's fine.
He's fine.
All the time.
See, I do feel there's a couple in the chat actually that's got something to do with this. I think
Shimmering, so I know very well. She's absolutely bloody awesome.
Yeah.
I think
She's
it may
got
be
quite
one of the
good
UFO
abilities.
people.
Maggie's really, really good as well.
I think it may be one of the UFO people.
Tim and Tommy are very, very close to me, and I do feel that I met Tim and Tommy for a reason, and I think that I was meant to meet you guys again and bring them into this.
Do you think that's what they might be waiting on?
I think that we're all meant to do a show together. I think there's meant to be something where we open up fully about ufology, like obviously revealing them to an extent, but learning and educating more, and maybe
because
through
Tim,
doing that it may bring them out a little bit more so we can understand a little bit more
about
about them.
Always, I mean, for all Tommy is into it as well, but because Tim, I think he's a lot. I see Tim not had a lot more experience than Tom. I've not watched him for awfully long, but
Tim's had experiences. Tim's had visits from aliens and had things done to him. So has Tommy had experiences, seen things. They're both qualified ufologists, so they are very, very good at what they do. So
they're waiting then is to wait until it's
and they do believe a lot in what you like Chris and Dakota does as well. There are things they do things about abductions and stuff like that. They find it very interesting.
The guy that follows me about, he's awfully interested in the UFO guy. They two.
Interesting.
Tim and Tommy from UFO Guy, they're both amazing.
That is interesting.
I think they're going to do something. I don't know what they're up to. No,
this was interesting. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Kim. And you know, it's really important for you guys to understand that there isn't just us in this world, and you know, not everybody that is from other planets are coming here to try and do anything bad to you. They
No,
are trying to
definitely
help.
not. I think they want
Okay.
us to understand ourselves
Yeah.
as well. They want us to
They
understand.
want us to look after our planet. Is
Uh-huh.
what they want us to do.
And
When
we're
we're doing
neighbouring-
bad things here and we're doing what we do here, we're affecting their planets. We're all
They
linked.
want us to stop
Okay,
being
so-
at war with each other and
We're
things.
family.
Really.
We're relations. So why are they not going to be visiting here and looking over us? We're family and relations to them. So we just look different.
Aye.
Some of us.
In this world.
So it's
Most of us.
in this world. In this world. It's been a good night tonight. It's been a good night
Brilliant.
tonight.
Yes, it is. But how long have we been on anyway?
Good,
Because I
isn't
did
it,
say
man?
that mine doesn't go for an
1:50.
hour. We've been on for an hour and 50 minutes, so nearly 2 hours. So,
well.
is there any more quick questions now? Because I'm sure that these guys are probably wanting to get off and do things, and there's been some really interesting stuff happen tonight. I think Dakota wants to look into it a bit more.
Yeah, I think he's wanting to go to the tunes
Aye,
of
he's
the
gonna-
mills in his own.
So, if there isn't any more questions, like quickly put in the room. If there's no more questions, I'll say get us all to say good night to you, and then I'm going to play the intro back out and go from there. I hope
Can you
that you
see
all
my
enjoyed
link
it, guys, and I
quickly?
hope you enjoyed to hear the aliens communicating with you all directly and on Drew's the app. You know
Will you share my link quick with this? Because I can't do it for this desktop.
what
laptop.
links that's this?
If anybody's not got me, guys, can you give me a subscribe, please? And we'll do support streams on a Monday in my channel.
Oh,
Share
hang on a
it.
minute. Yeah,
Come
I've got to
along
get
and
it up.
just have a
There was
chit-chat,
one question I
promote
do
the
believe we
channel.
kind of skimmed over.
What was
Okay,
that?
yeah, go on.
I believe it was Maggie something asking about the
Maggie
Roswell
Olive.
crash. Yes,
Aye, it was the how long they lived.
there's a survivor.
Aye.
There
Is
was
there
a
a-
survivor. That's how they
I didn't last long.
later succumbed
Getting
to
that.
his. There was a survivor, but he's later succumbed to his injuries.
Yeah.
That's how they know.
Right.
Right, hang on a minute. I'm just getting some links, guys, so that you guys can actually follow all of these guys that are on the panel. So I do my sister first, then I'm going to put both of the channels for Chris and Dakota in as well for YouTube.
I can hear that wind out there tonight. Can you hear
Yeah,
the wind?
amazing as well.
Please hit that link, guys, and join my sister on Monday and myself and Pups. We like to do some
Thank you.
uplifting shows. Just going to go back and get the Bold and Bonkers one as well now. Hang on.
What have you got on tomorrow night, Chris?
Who's ringing me?
We have a guest on tomorrow night. We have Brian J. Laverty from
Mhm.
Parapost coming on.
Oh, brilliant.
Mm-hmm. We have him tomorrow night, so that'll be good. And then Monday night we've got our special guest, but that'll be a pre-recorded show. So Dakota, when will that be out? Because we're putting it out in Patreon first, for obviously people in there, and then
Yes, we're gonna put that out on our Patreon for our subscribers to be there first. Then we're gonna have it. Should we do it put that for the week afterwards?
probably week after.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be
Christmas,
good to see.
because we'll have other shows to go to. We'll have to kind of wind down for the new year and all that kind
Right,
of stuff.
that is
we do.
the main channel to Bold and Bonkers. Then I'm just going to go back and get the smaller one as well, guys. So please go and check these guys out as well if you have not got them. They are absolutely awesome. I have obviously been asked by Tim and Tommy because they want you guys to go up
Mhm.
and have an interview with them. I will sort with them some dates and times and come back to you about that as
Mhm.
well and get
Yeah.
you guys up there because I think that really needs to happen. If you want to be around your sort of people, they're the guys to go to.
Mhm.
Go to
I just heard a massive bang out my window there. That wind
Channel.
Yeah,
is.
that,
I
I feel a bit
And that
windy
is the
here.
second channel link for YouTube for Chris and Dakota, guys. So that's the smaller channel. You can also get them on Facebook under Bold and Bonkers as well. So
That's
please go and support them in any way
also-
that you possibly can.
We're also on Spotify. And we're
Spotify,
on
yeah.
Amazon and iTunes.
Mhm.
There you go. So there you go. You can find us everywhere. Two lovable bald people. You know.
bald and broke.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, Hatch, but let's not bring this in the room. That's the past. At the end of the day, like,
Yeah, just
Misty's
keep
not
it.
here anymore, and we don't want to be making arguments about that. It doesn't matter who we're
Yeah,
talking
let's
to, and that I
just
still
drop
very
it.
much love Misty Cat, and I'm very broken by
Yes.
Misty Cat's passing. And
Yeah,
Was
and
Misty
I
is
think
Misty Cat away?
yeah,
no,
she
she passed
died.
away. She passed
When?
away.
Really? I
Yes,
didn't ken.
months ago. Yes,
I
months ago.
didn't know. I didn't
Yeah.
know. That's terrible. I didn't know.
Jerry, I
Honestly, I
don't
didn't
think
know.
I'm blue on your main channel, Mrs.
Pardon?
I don't think I'm blue on your channel.
Right.
It's
What, on my main channel?
I'll get it later. But yeah, I'll get it after. But I don't know. Well, on this, I don't know. I don't know.
Of course you're blue.
I was
You've
just
always been
trying.
blue on my main channel.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe it's just this thing.
I'll have a look after,
Yeah.
and if cause Facebook have YouTube have a tendency for taking things away sometimes because they're just silly sometimes. We don't want any negatives.
Ain't that true?
Hmm.
It is about having free thought, but we don't want to bring negativity into this room. This is an interview.
Honestly,
I
didn't
love you
ken
to
she
bits,
was dead. I
Hatchy,
didn't.
but let's just chill out. Okay?
The
Let's just
past
chill
in
out.
the past, please.
I love all of you. So, enough's
All
enough.
family and friends.
Right,
Anyway,
so
that was
please
brilliant.
stay
I can't
positive,
wait to
express
listen
some
to that
thoughts and
back. That's
opinions
going to
is
be
good,
good.
but not hurtful comments, please. Yes, Maggie, I agree,
Yeah.
sweetheart. But
Mhm.
they don't look like it doesn't look like there is any more questions. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to come off of here. I just want to thank you for coming in and supporting Chris and Dakota's show today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to my sister for coming up on the panel. Obviously, amazing Dakota and Chris. Thank you for being here, and to our lovely extraterrestrial friends that joined us tonight as well. So lots of love and light and blessings from me, guys. Be safe and be
Bye,
real.
guys.
Guys, would you like to say bye as well?
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
And we will see you
Adios.
very, very soon. Oh, that is UFO Man's YouTube thing there. So if you
I
two
think
want to
I'm.
get that,
I
guys,
think I'm subscribed to him
Definitely
already.
watch.
I'll have a look.
Watch.
but I'll get to you, Tim, and I'll
You
sort
watch
some
it,
dates
Luna.
out that
It's
are okay
good.
for you and send them over to Chris and Dakota,
Yeah,
and they can
super.
choose which days are okay.
Definitely watch. It's good. The
But
necrophonic responses.
absolutely amazing show. Really, really good stuff. We are going to try and get a little bit more into depth in what's going on there. But from us tonight, love, light, and blessings. Remember that when you go to sleep, those spirits creep and they're always around you. Keep looking to the
Including
stars,
the
and
aliens.
we will see you real soon. And keep watching for those stars and for our extraterrestrial friends. They're waiting for you.
Listen,
Night,
you
night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Right, let's just put that video back up there like that.
Charger.
Love and light, angels. Be safe, be real, and we will see you very, very, very soon. Love you all. Blessed be and merry parting. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal World Investigators Research Division, shortened PWIRD. I'm a practicing white witch and shaman, and I have been investigating for over 20 years. This channel is made to talk about all things paranormal, supernatural, of the occult, demonic information, UFOs, and much more of the strange and the unknown. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell to see more of this channel. And we will see you very soon.